Hello, this is Paige Danziger live from home today, where I invite you to enjoy Art in Bloom together with me. Today, we're going to be drawing from the collection of the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. And I'm here in my home where I love spring, but I have great fond memories of Art in Bloom at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. We're going to draw together today, and I will be using an iPad Pro with my finger and a stylus. And I invite you to use any material you have at home. If you have a digital screen, an iPhone, a tablet of any kind with a free drawing app on it, I invite you to use that. Or use markers, pencils, paint, silly Play-Doh, or any blocks, Legos. I invite you to use any art materials you have at home to create together today. We're going to start off just like we're going through a tour, but I'd like to show you a few demonstrations, examples first, from drawings that I've created this week, so that you have an idea of what we'll be doing today. This is Ganymede and the Eagle, and I drew lilies, and I thought about the positive and the negative shapes and the shapes of the eagle and the figure. So we can see again how that looks. Let's look at another example. Here's Van Gogh's olive trees. And here's one vase of flowers that I drew. And here's another. It's really fun to draw. So let's start doing some together. I'm going to use an app called Procreate on my iPad. And we will start with the very first drawing. We're going to, when you enter at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts, the first thing that you see above you is Dale Chihuly's Sunburst. It's often an incredible inspiration for floral designers and a top-notch spot to have a floral display at the museum. So let's create one together. I am choosing to start with a blank black surface that I'm going to add bursts of light to with yellow. And I'm able to change the thickness of my nib and color and direction. We're able to start to see the burst expand. And I'm just going to start to go wiggle wild. And I invite you to as well. And when you're ready, you can switch colors. Can I add a different color in, or does it have to be yellow? You can add in the comments what you think the answer is. I once had a art teacher who suggested I had too much red in my artwork. And after that, I saw opportunity to add red to all of my artwork. So I'm going to add some red. And I'm just wiggling and squiggling and bursting from inside. I know that we're all staying at home and some of us have lots of energy. So let's let it out. Let's draw it all out together. Now I'm going to switch pens. I'm really happy with this one, but I know that my iPad offers me different opportunities. So let's try a texture, a wiggly texture. Let's see what this does. Can you see? Maybe I'll add it in a contrasting color. Oh, cool. Now, wait a minute. I was going to draw a vase of flowers, and I just felt like I just dove right on in as if I was a bee. Let's do another one from a museum visitor's view. And this time we're going to make it a vase of flowers. I'm finding a pen tip that I like. Mm-hmm. And this vase feels like it's full and might have a little burst to it. There we go. And let's make some flowers that look just like the sunburst. And we'll add some of that red because we can. Does anybody ever hear a voice inside of themselves when they're drawing that says, I'm not sure this is right. I'm not sure this is good enough. I'm not sure about what I'm doing. I know I hear that sometimes. You can click like in the comments and let us know if you've ever heard that voice inside of your head that wonders if you're doing something right. That's called their voice of censorship, actually. And that voice isn't very helpful. So I like to do a little visualization that helps me when I hear the voice of censorship, questioning if I'm doing something right when I'm drawing. And so I like to stop, imagine reaching down inside of myself and taking that voice of censorship and letting it go. That's it. And then you can go on with your drawing. All right, I'm starting to like my drawing. Let's add more to it. Again, allow yourself to really let go. Does the sunburst need to stay within the vase or within the flowers? I don't think so. What if that sunburst was bursting into a pattern all around us? Like healthy, strong cells reaching out. And I'm just letting the Minneapolis Institute of Arts know that things are going great here. We're live, we're here together, and we are currently drawing Dale Chihuly's vase of flowers to emulate sunburst. So if you're just joining us now, I want to welcome you. My name is Paige Dansinger, and I'm here at home using an iPad and drawing live here together our museum collection from Minneapolis Institute of Arts. And we started out on our tour together with Dale Chihuly's Sunburst. And our vase of flowers is bursting all over. It's reaching out like the breath in all of us on a nice springy day, bursting with energy and life and radiance and good health. And that's what that sunburst calls to mind when I think of it and I enter the museum. I think of the radiance in our community and vitality and resilience. And this is my vase of flowers, sunburst. Okay, but let's move on to our very next picture. And we will be drawing. We're going to go upstairs into the gallery now, and we will visit in Gallery 212 the Jade Mountain. So again, thinking about positive and negative space, I'm going to start this one with a white background at first, and really think about the shape and the story involved in the green jade mountain. The jade tells about a story of scholars who visit and celebrate by sharing poems together. And they let their poems and cups go in the water. And I'm going to draw my own abstract visualization of what that could feel like. These lotus blossoms are also like teacups or holders of poems. And the vessel for this vase is like a long, long box that holds it. And in the bottom of the box might be little pebbles, little jade pebbles. That reminds me of the little stones on the pathway of the scholar's study near the woo room. And that's near where this vase of flowers for the green jade mountain would be sitting today at the virtual Art in Bloom. I like this one. It feels like the jade mountain to me. I'm going to add just a little bit more because inside of those little teacup lotus tulips might be a message or a little poem about anything you would want. Maybe it's making a better world, or a prayer for world peace, or for wellness at a time of global pandemic, or just the well wishes of someone you love. What would you put into your teacup? What kind of poem would you write today? Please, I invite you to share your drawings of the Green Mountain and the other works that we create together in the comments. I would love to see the community's beautiful works and the way that you're inspired by Mia. Our next design will be a beautiful green jade plant, and I'm going to show it to you in my photo album. I really, really love this green jade plate. Did I just call it a green jade plant? I'm not surprised. To me, it feels like a floret of beautiful greenery and leaves. This could be a fern or a canthus or a peyote or a chrysanthemum. Let's draw it. Let's draw this together and create a floral arrangement that complements this beautiful green jade plate. Ah, Krista, welcome. She says that it looks like a big rainforest leaf to her. Yes, it really does. It looks so wet and lush, like it's just filled with life. Okay, now I'm going to switch from my image back to my app, Procreate. And I'm using my iPad today, but I welcome you to use markers, paint, Legos, or any art making materials you have at home. I'm going to use a square canvas. My right hand is my hand of all power. With it, I'm able to draw shapes and lines and forms in which inform the world and my choices. So let's try that. You use your art making hand as your hand of all power, and make some powerful choices. Yeah, right away, I feel good about that circle. And I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to fill it up with life and hope and radiance. Now, my supporting hand is my hand of infinite opportunities. It helps me, while I'm drawing, change my nibs or my colors. And together with my hand of infinite options and opportunities and my hand of all power, together they're able to create anything in the world. In fact, it makes me feel like an art superhero. Let's give this some gallery atmosphere in our studio, some light, some radiance, and now let's go back in with some greens. So this is the beginning of our flower. It's like a seed pod that's just beginning. I'm going to try another tool. Let's see what the soft pastel will do. Kind of too small of a line for me. Let's try a different nib. Don't be afraid to try something new. Yes. Sometimes when you're trying something new, it feels messy. There's not a lot of control about it. And that can be vulnerable and risk-taking and frightening. But you know what? It also kind of feels good. It feels good to be a little vulnerable and take a new risk and feel a little unsure about yourself. I think that's a good feeling. So because of that, I'm going to add a whole other color. And I'm going to use a little different tool. There we go. And I'm just imagining that pattern of jade and what it took for the craftspeople to carve the jade plate. It's an act of perseverance. I understand that jade is a very hard surface. Sometimes things surface that are hard in our lives. And we can keep on working with perseverance to create the balance that we need to make a resolution in our life, whether it's for a drawing, now this is a floral arrangement more than a vase of flowers. If you can imagine these sweeping leaves now coming around, it's beautiful. And I like to add just a little hint of orange, sometimes in green. I feel like it makes that color pop. And I have thrown away my voice of censorship today. We've all done that together. So even though I don't see orange in the original work, I know that this piece has life and it's radiating and it has pop. And so that orange is a part of it, along with some pink and yellow and some radiance colors of green. Thank you. This is the green jade plate a floral arrangement of ferns and tropical greens and succulent leaves. Let's do our next drawing. If we were to walk down the hallway, the corridor, past the green jade mountain and the green jade plant plate, we would see a beautiful mosaic from Turkey. And let me get the photograph for it. Birds and foliage. This is a favorite work at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. And the little mosaic pieces of acanthus leaves, pomegranates, and birds excite me to create a vase of flowers. So I'm switching over to my iPad's Procreate app, and let's work together. Angela loves the added pink. That's fantastic. Let's add some pink with this one. I believe that the mosaic artists in Turkey would have maybe loved a little bit of pink to work with. Let's do it. So our vase is going to somehow feel like a little acanthus leaf. There we go. Ah, that's kind of neat. Now let's have some beautiful floral leaves coming out from our vase. Yeah. We can add some extra colors in. And some pomegranates. And I'm using my fill brush, my fill on my pen to fill in these blank spaces. There we go. I liked that. Okay, adding a new color. I get really excited when I draw. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel more relaxed and relieves any anxiety or stress or worries I have. It just brings out this incredible good feeling. Does drawing make you feel good too? I'd like to know how drawing makes you feel. And I'd love for you to share your experience in feeling drawing, feeling free to share how it makes you feel in our comments. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to add a little bit more of the pomegranate there. Okay, I'm going to add some little birds. Because I'm not really at the museum, I feel like I'm allowed to add birds to my vase of flowers. And you can decide how real or virtual or digital they are. Let's choose a nice yellow. Oh, excellent. And another bird here. I love these birds. Maybe the museum should be full of birds. All right. And let's add just a little bit more pink. Yeah. And a little more pink. Yep, I like that. And just one more time, a little bit more pink. Mm-hmm. Oh, Krista says that her family went to the Heron Rookery this morning and the trees were full of birds. That's incredible. That's fantastic. I'm so glad that the rookery is full of birds. It's in Marshall Terrace Park, early morning, so complete social distance. Very good. Wonderful. It's great to be out in nature when you can safely. And I encourage everyone to stay indoors. Just draw and be part of Art in Bloom together. This is the best thing in the world. Haven't you always wanted to stay home and draw and be in a museum? We couldn't have art and birds in addition to Art in Bloom. We could have art and birds. Absolutely. Well, let's move to our next exciting drawing. Okay. Let's choose a museum favorite of many people. I'm going back to my photos. Let's skip right to the Veiled Lady. Okay. This is always an exciting one for people to draw and admire and create vases for. People love this artwork at Minneapolis Institute of Arts. I used to be a security guard, and people all the time would say, I came here to see the Veiled Lady. It's my favorite work of art here. So let's draw together. I'm using an iPad with the program Procreate, but I welcome you to use any program you have or any drawing material that you have. And we're going to start with kind of a purpley background. Let's do it. And around the Veiled Lady is the sweetest sort of beautiful carving of like a crown. glorious crown of spring. And that's what I'm drawing. It has a bit of pink to it. Let's add a little bit of hint of pink blush or bright. That's right. Our vase of flowers. And sweet and springy and just like nice blossoms. And I love the draping on the veiled lady across their face. It has all these like variegated carving lines. Let's mimic some of that in our stems, shall we? Go ahead. If you feel like making sounds when you draw, go ahead and do it. It helps draw out the drawing patterns. That's right. We're letting ourselves go. We're just drawing together. And let's put her sweet white face. Okay. The veiled lady. Maybe she would have one green leaf behind her. Let's do it anyway. Saying, here I am. Now, we just have a few more minutes to draw together, and I'd love to give you an opportunity to make any recommendations or suggestions for a work of art. And I'm going to, if you want to write in the comments a work of art that you'd like me to draw, I'm happy to do it. But I am thinking next, a really great one to draw would be Delacroix zinnias. It's already a vase of flowers, but let's quick draw it. Let's do it. Now, one moment, I'm going to take a stretch break. Stretch your fingers, wiggle around when you're drawing, because we're about to do something big. We're going to do it together. So 1 minute while I take a wiggle break and you wiggle too. Get your fingers all ready for the next stage. All right. We are having a quick computer plug-in. There we go. Now, let's continue our drawing. Okay, I feel like I've wiggled. Okay, our next drawing is this beautiful vase of flowers from Delacroix. And because it's already a vase of flowers, I say let's rearrange the vase of flowers completely. Elise's work for inspiration. If you would post a link of the work, then I would know it. Okay. Let's have a different shape canvas. And start out with really bold colors. Delacroix used fantasy and romance to create passionate and intimate scenes of people, landscapes, flowers, animals, and vases of flowers. His floral works were just some of my very favorites ever. And these zinnias make me feel good. They feel good to draw and they feel good to look at. They're just bursts of color, energy, life. And that beautiful blue vase. Are your drawings more like squiggles like mine? Or are they like super realistic? Or are they mishmash puddles of smeared paint? Or are they all opposite colors and you used greens and yellows and like white? You tell me. I want to see your artwork. I want to know what your perspective and how you create. Ooh, look at that. All right. I love that. I want to know what you're creating. Please share it with me in the comments. Let's add to this. Let's add some more bright and vibrancy. I could draw zinnias all day long. And maybe I will. All right, we have time for some more drawings. Definitely squiggles from Angela. Fantastic. It just feels good to squiggle. I feel like, there's a lot happening, and just having some energy to release in a squiggle or a wiggle, especially after moving your body, makes sense, right? Part of our goal together in drawing vases was to draw together as a community and to draw out some of this energy in us that is bursting, right? Just like our Dale Chihuly's vase of flowers sunburst that we started with. So having a little squiggles and wiggles and bursts, I'm not surprised. I'm happy to see it. Let's do some more. Our next drawing, let's look at some of my options that I have. Ooh, we could do Monet's haystack or this nocturne radio. Do I have any votes? Kind of feeling the nocturne radio right now. Let's see if our squiggles become something more solid. How are we going to approach that? I mean, we just drew a vase of flowers and it looked like a vase of flowers. But now we're creating a vase of flowers after the Nocturne Radio. And the Nocturne Radio doesn't look at all like a vase of flowers. Let's see what we can do. So I'm making some nocturne radios, a bunch of them, because they're really cool looking. Now I'm going to draw some of those markings in them. They kind of remind me of bachelor buttons. So this will be a bachelor button bouquet. We'll add a little bit more. Let's switch up some nibs. Should we try a different? It's something something that feels maybe watery or blotchy. Let's try it. Oh, okay. That's different. Yeah, that's giving a nice watery nocturnal feeling. Ooh. And bringing back some of that luminescence. Ooh. That really does give a little bit of a shine. Our bachelor buttons have a little glow to them. Okay, let's wrap it up with a little bit of a textured stem. Oh yeah. Maybe we could add some more elements. Flames. Let's add that. Perfect. And again with some blue. And I think we may have some good bachelor buttons. Oh wait, no. We need a little bit of marker. Are you using markers at home? I'm going to use a digital marker. Let's see if I may find it. Nope, I can't find it, so I'll use an airbrush. And that Looks very nice. All right. Using watercolors. Excellent. Watercolors are a fantastic medium to use because you're really able to express yourself and mix colors. Use wet and dry techniques. I really love drawing flowers. For me, these are happy flowers, and they come really from my heart. Let's add a vase. Nocturne radio. Shall we do one more? Let's take a look at some of them that we've done, actually. Here's Rembrandt's Lucretia, and I painted it also. I drew it on my iPad, like this. And you're able to watch the playback of the drawing. Here's a painted vase from Turkey, and I drew this one also. I used some of the positive and the negative spaces to create a vase that was in and out of the style. I took the stylized vase and I took the foliage and flowers and brought them off of the vase and surrounded it. You can compare. Here is a Hanukkah lamp, and I also drew this. The Hanukkah lamp is inspired by an umbel, and you are able to see that in yarrow, Joe Pye weed, Queen Anne lace, and other beautiful plants. And here they are together. I was inspired by Joe Pye weed, which is a new plant for me to discover in the last couple of years, and I love their purpley pink colors. I really love the shrine head, and so I drew it also. And here's a comparison. I use natural forms of like earthy wheats and grains and leaves. And then I also saw the neck and the mouth as part of the vase itself, the vessel of truth to come out of. I really love these coral knife set. And so I drew them as well. And first I drew them just like a vase with the knife pattern on it and coral coming out of it. But it felt a little contained. So I started to let the coral go all over the drawing. This is a fretwork piece of architecture by George Elmsley. And I really think this is a special piece that shows a great floral detail. And I drew it as a vase of flowers here with a big swooping green leaves with some beautiful pink floral bursts. And I believe that I kept the integrity of the fretwork design that George Elmsley put into his fretwork. And here's a comparison. The sound suit is already looks like a vase of flowers, don't you think? I drew it just like a vase of flowers with squares and circles and doilies and roses and tops. You're invited to share your own Mia-inspired masterpieces with flowers or any materials around your home and post it with an hashtag inspired by Mia at ArtsMIA. This has been Paige Dansinger drawing the collection of the Minneapolis Institute of Arts for Art in Bloom 2020 virtual Art in Bloom at home. And I want to thank you so much for sharing your floral inspirations with us today. Share them in the comments, post them to hashtag inspired by Mia, and share them online. And we will see you soon at the museum and virtually every day at the museum. So thank you.